All right, welcome back, Star Citizens, future Star Citizens, and Stargazers. We are now in Chapter 7 of our beginning understanding of Star Citizen, and in this chapter, we're going to talk about flight planning and quantum flight. So let's get started with flight planning. Flight planning is what we use to get from one place to another in Star Citizen, and in order to do that, we're going to bring up our star map, which is F2 on our keyboard, or we could bring up our mobiGlas, which is F1, and click on the star map icon. Okay, but F2 is a shortcut that will bring up the star map. All right, so when you bring up the star map, it's normally going to be set for maybe the last location you were, the last place you jumped to. All kind of varies. Sometimes you'll be, so if I like center the map, and sometimes it'll just be a blank screen like this, and you're like, what the heck? Use your mouse scroll wheel to scroll out until you can kind of see where you are. Okay, so we're scrolling out, and here we are above Hurston. All right, basics of this screen are on the left. You can see the navigation mode. Okay, your current fuel. Any required fuel for the route that you're setting. There is no route set currently, so we have no jump points or anything like that. We could set a route, we can clear the route, we can center our location as to center the map to where we are. Okay, and then we can left click on the map. So let's just scroll out so we can see a little further. And we'll scroll out till we can see the entire solar system. So there's our entire solar system. I can't scroll out any further. I'm going to left click on the map, and you can see that I can kind of rotate the map around, change my perspective on the map. Okay, I can right click and drag to move the map around on my screen. Again, left click, rotate, change orientation, right click to kind of move it around. All right, so we are on Hurston, so let's go back to Hurston. Okay, scrolling out till we see Hurston again. Double click on Hurston. There we are. All right, so we're right around Hurston. Okay, so if we want to set up a flight plan, let's say we wanted to go to a moon on ArcCorp. So let's scroll out and look for ArcCorp. And again, we can change the location, but here's ArcCorp over here. Let's say we wanted to go to a moon on ArcCorp. All right, so basically as we scroll in and out, we can see different locations, and anytime we want to know something about something, we just left click on it, and that will give us an indication of what that item is. All right, so for example, HURL4 is a Lagrangian or Lagrangian gravity well located in the orbit of Hurston. Beside being home to a collection of asteroids, a convenient R&R rest stop is available for refueling and repairs. So that is a rest stop, and if it's a rest stop, that means we can go there, we can store our ship there, and we can make that a spawn point once we store our ship. We have CRUL3 is a gravity well, no R&R. ArcL4 is another gravity well with no R&R, so there are certain areas of the map where you're going to have a hard time finding R&R, even though there may be something out there. So you just need to be aware of your fuel and whether or not you have enough fuel on board to get someplace and then get back. We're just going to left click on ArcCorp. We're going to get up here again a description of what is ArcCorp. I'm going to double click on ArcCorp, and that's going to take me over there on my map. It's going to zoom in, and we can see that we have Lyria and Walla. All right, so let's just click on Walla to get a description of Walla on the top right, and we're going to double click on it to zoom in. So now that we've zoomed in on Walla, we can see that there is some indicators here. This is ArcCorp Mining Area 56, kind of hard to read based on the planet background. There's ArcCorp Mining Area 48 and ArcCorp Mining Area 45. So let's say we wanted to go to ArcCorp Mining Area 45 from where we are. I can click on it. Okay, I'm going to get a description of what it is. All right, and if I wanted to go to that area, I could left click on the set route. Once I click set route, if I'm able to set the route, you're going to see over here on the left hand side, we now have some waypoints that we can use. Okay, we have to, from where we are, we have to go to the planet first, or the system first, which is ArcCorp. Then from ArcCorp, we're going to go to the moon, Walla. And then from the moon, Walla, we're going to go to the ArcCorp mining area. We're going to get an indicator here of the total fuel it's going to require to get that trip taken care of, and then the fuel requirement for each leg. Okay, and that is quantum fuel. If you weren't able to make the quantum jump because you didn't have enough fuel, or your required fuel was greater than your current fuel, this would be in red and you would not be able to make this jump, or you'd still be able to make the jump, but you wouldn't be able to complete the jump. So maybe you have enough fuel to get to ArcCorp, great, and you have enough fuel to get to Walla, great, but you don't have any quantum fuel to get to the mining area. Or you can get to ArcCorp, but you can't get to Walla. So you'll be able to set the route, but you just won't be able to complete the route depending on the fuel requirements. So just be aware of that. So we're not going to go there, but that is that's pretty much how you can do routing in the system, okay, and have the navigation system help you find your way to get from one place to another. A lot of times when you're trying to do things, you may want to freestyle it and you don't want to really set a route. Well, and you can do that also. But when you get to a planet, it may be hard to get to the ArcCorp mining area. You may not be able to see it. So this is just a better way, until you learn your way around, how to get from place to place. Now, you don't have to pick a place. I could just say that I want to go to the planet Walla, and I could set the route. And now you see I'm just going to have two stops. I'm going to have ArcCorp, and then I'm going to have Walla. All right. In order to clear the route, I don't want to go here anymore. I can just hit clear route, and I won't be routed anywhere currently. All right. So a good way to learn your way around the system is by doing your setting routes and setting up your navigation. And again, you can get pretty specific as far as where you want to go in the solar system, and it'll set the jump points for you, which makes navigating pretty easy until you learn your way around. All right, so that's the star map. We'll come back to this here in a second when we're actually going to do a jump, but let's talk about the quantum drive a little bit, and then we'll come back and set a route. All right, so we're going to close the star map here. All right, so quantum drive, while it's used in conjunction with routing quite a bit, you can also freestyle or free jump. And in order to jump someplace, what we're going to do is we're going to start spooling our quantum drive. So I'm just going to hit the B key on the keyboard. And once I do that, we're going to start spooling, and you're going to see there's all kinds of indicators. So each one of these indicators is a location in the star system that I could jump to, and it doesn't have to be close by. It's pretty much anything that I can kind of see in the star system. Now, the blue indicates in this particular ship, it's blue and red. Different ships have different color schemes that they use. Some of them may be green and white, just different colors. But normally red means you can't jump there, okay, for some reason. So if I were to come over here to this red square and put my cursor on it, it's going to tell me what it is. It's going to try to start spooling and try to calibrate for it, but it's going to say that it's obstructed. All right, so just understand I can't jump to something that's obstructed or anything that's in red. Okay, if it's something in blue, like this is the HDSF Breckenridge on the planet of Hurston, I could technically jump there. Okay. This little circle with a little circle around it usually means it's a moon, okay, or a planet with moons. And these are normally other, the little triangles are just other. So this could indicate a moon or a planet with a moon or a major planet. So there's Microtech, and Microtech definitely has some moons. So there's Ida, which is a moon. Hurston, which is a gravity well. HURL4 gravity well. So just understand we can jump to any of these, okay, by just pressing. Once we pick an item, so let's pick this out right here, HURL4 for example. If I wanted to jump to HURL4, I would just have to wait. I would put it in my cursor so that I get the blue triangle around it. And then my spooling has to complete and my calibration has to be ready. So there's two factors that come into play when you want to jump drive. Number one, your jump drive engine has to be geared up or spooled up. And your navigation has to be calibrated onto the area you want to jump to. So I'm going to tap B to turn off my jump drive. And then I'm going to tap B again to start spooling the jump drive. And you will see that it starts counting up to get ready, and the calibration in the jump drive probably will get to about 100% about the same time. Depending on your ship, the spooling may take longer than it takes for the calibration. So the calibration may happen, but the spooling, the engine isn't spooled up or the quantum drive isn't spooled up, so you can't jump until both of these are done. You've got to have your spooling complete and your calibration needs to be ready. And again, that is ship dependent on how long it takes to spool. You can always quick jump from one place to another. In this example though, we're going to try and set a route. So let's go to our map again. So that's F2. And let's say we want to go to HURL4. We're going to set a route. So it's telling me I can get there no problem. Let's pick HURL1 and set a route. And now it's not letting me get there. I can't set a route to HURL1. My guess it's because Hurston is in the way and there's no outer marker for me to get to. Sometimes there may be an outer marker I can get to that will let me map to the outer marker and then to the destination. Let's see what L5 says. Again, it's being blocked. It's not letting me set a route to that location. Let's try HURL1. Let's set a route. Alright, so that's the direct trip. I was trying to see if there's anywhere we could go that's got like an outer marker. Nope, can't set my route there. Of course, I could get to L3. I could just tell by looking at the map that from where I am to get to a location. Alright, well, can't get there directly. So let's go to HURL4. We're just going to set our route. Okay. So once I set a route, I'll see here that the waypoints get set, kind of like I showed previously, to get to the moon. So this is just a single jump. So we're going to go ahead and close our map. We've got our route kind of set, and it happens to be right in front of me. All right, so we're going to kind of turn our ship a little bit so it's not right in front of me. But you can see that there's a blue arrow. There's a couple indicators. In this particular ship, there's a couple of indicators that tell me which direction I need to go to kind of tune in or get my navigation set for this jump. The first indicator, I'm going to press my Z key so that I got free view here. My first indicator is this radar right here. So this radar has a green line that's pointing from the center, and the center is where I am, and it's pointing directly to the right, because this is the direction I'm facing. This would be directly in front of me, this would be to my left, this would be behind me, and this is directly to the right. So there's an indicator here of which direction I kind of need to turn my ship to get to the jump point. The second indicator is the little right triangle, or the little blue triangle on the right side of my screen. That tells me I should be kind of turning to the right. All right, so I'm going to turn to the right. And once I get on, or I can see the blue square, I'm going to start to spool. So if I hit B to spool, okay, rather than seeing all the indicators, because I have a route set, I only see the indicators from my route. if I didn't have a route set, again, I would see all of the indicators with blue and red telling me which ones I could go to and which ones I don't or can't go to. So once we start spooling, get the indicator of which jump this is or how many jumps it's going to take to get there, the distance to the location, and that our spooling is complete and our calibration is ready. All right, so in order to actually do the jump, we press a B to spool, and then we're going to hold down the B key to start jumping. Now, with our jumping, we start to speed up, and eventually we go into quantum drive, and we're still speeding up. If I wanted to stop this, I don't want to complete this jump, I can press and hold the B key again, and I will start spooling down from my jump drive, okay? So I just stopped that jump, and you can see on that indicator there's a cooldown time. So there's a cooldown time between jumps. The longer it takes, or the longer you're in quantum drive, the longer it takes for the cooldown. Each ship has a cooldown period for the quantum drive and a spool up period for the quantum drive. So, and you can buy different quantum drives for your ship, but each one of those has a specific set of settings. So some spool faster, it takes longer for them to cool down. Some will spool slower, but maybe they cool down faster. So there's just different things that you can do for your spool drive, and some will actually be faster at quantum jumping than others. There's all kinds of websites that you can go look at and find all the specs for how quantum drives work. All right, so one of the ways to get out of quantum drive is to hold down the B key. There's really no indication when you hold down the B key to jump out of quantum drive that it's actually taking effect. And the longer you're in quantum drive, the longer it takes for you to come out of quantum drive. So for short jumps, sometimes you won't even be able to come out of quantum drive because the jump is just not long enough. And once you start your quantum drive, you'll be at your destination before you can even jump out. All right? So another way that you can get out of quantum drive when you're in quantum drive is to shut off your engine. That will work, and it's a better indicator that it's actually taking effect. And you can also shut off the power to your ship completely using the U key. All right, so that's how you can exit out of quantum drive if you're in quantum drive and you want to exit out, or you change your mind, or for some reason. Now, there are other reasons you would stop. Your quantum drive would kick off. Okay, if for some reason you've mapped your direction, but something is in your way, or something ends up being in your way because, maybe an asteroid that's rotating around your space station or the place that you want to go, and that asteroid is now interfering with your path, then you may auto jump out of quantum drive. And another reason you would jump out of quantum drive, if you're under attack, there are ships out there that can pull you out of quantum drive and then attack you. So just be aware that just because you're in quantum drive doesn't mean you're going to stay in quantum drive. There are reasons for quantum drive to kick off. All right, so we're going to respool. So I'm just going to hit the B key. I'm going to reorientate my ship. We're going to wait for the quantum drive to spool up. We're going to wait for our calibration to be ready, which it is. And now we're going to press and hold the B key again. And we're going to continue on our route. All right, so while you're in quantum drive, you can exit your seat. You can go back in your ship. You can wander around, go get something to drink. Maybe you need to use the can, whatever it is. You don't have to be sitting here. The ship will auto navigate at this point till you reach your endpoint. Normally when you're quantum driving and you've got a destination set, you're usually going to stop or come out of quantum drive somewhere between 50 kilometers and 20 kilometers of your destination. If you're in space, like we are right now, and I'm going to a space station, for example, the average is right around 50 kilometers. If I'm on a planet and I'm jumping from maybe an outer marker to a mining area on a planet, Normally you will come out of your quantum drive about 20 kilometers away from your final destination. At that point, you will no longer be able to jump to your destination because you'll be too close. Okay, and quantum drive can only works on destinations that are further away from you than you would normally use with your thrusters or normal engines to get to. So I'll probably speed up the video here. Right, so as you're quantum driving and you're getting close to the end, you're going to hear in the background the quantum drive kind of despool. I heard the quantum engine kind of kicking off there, so now we're kind of like in a cruising mode, and we're going to slow down until, there you go, we just exited. All right, and now you're going to get it complete, and you're going to see the cooldown. So since we were in quantum drive longer, you can see that the cooldown is taking a lot longer in order for me to be able to quantum drive again. I would have to wait for the cooldown before I start spooling, and or before I was able to quantum drive again. So I can see space station in front of me. I'm going to hit the B key again to start spooling. And you're going to see that it's 72 miles away from me, which is a little far. Okay, so I'm not sure. We dropped out of quantum drive, but a little further away than I would like. And it might be because it saw something in the way, or some kind of an indicator. And then beyond that, there's a red marker, okay, which I can't mark to. I'm not sure what that is. It's not indicating on the screen right now. Okay, so right now I'm kind of like in free mode, because according to it, we made it to our location, but I'm a little further out than I want to be. So I'm going to try and get a quantum in a little closer. So I'm going to hold down the B key and see if we can quantum in a little closer. And you can see we just did a little quick jump, and now we're about 38 kilometers away, which is fine. Now if I do the B and try to quantum in here, I can't because I'm too close. All right, so just did a little quick quantum jump there, and now we're out of the quantum drive. So that's navigating and quantum drives. That's probably going to be it for this video. In the next video, we're going to land at this space station. We're going to check it out, and then once we're done checking it out, we're going to head back to Hurston. We're going to land at Hurston. There goes another ship flying by us, just so you can see there's that little arrow indicator that's pretty bright right there. So that was another ship flying by. Or another player. It could have been a player. It could have been an AI ship. The indicator was white or greenish colored, which is good. Red is bad. You see red ships on your radar, that means they're probably bad people. It could be that it's AI that's going to possibly attack you. It could be that it's a pirate, or it's somebody that's got crime stats, and their ship is going to be indicating in red because they have crime stat. And if you were a bounty hunter, you would be able to go and destroy that person and claim the bounty on them. So just understand the differences. There's green color ships, there's white color ships. White color is usually the AI security. Green would indicate another player, and red could indicate it's either AI or another player with crime stat. So just be aware of that when you're seeing these markers show up on your screen. All right, so that's it for this video. Again, we're going to head back to Hurston after we visit the space station, and that's probably going to be the end of this series on the basics, because that's going to be all the basics that you need to get started. And we'll see you on the next video, and getting close to the end here on this series. All right, bye-bye.